Alright, so here today I thought we could go through the revenue of how this game is holding up. Is it still popping off? I haven't done this in a while actually. And this game sort of mimics a number every month, and it sort of doesn't deviate from that month. The only thing is, I'll just make this clear, the only time this game really fell was literally the release of Mazino and Ranmei, because both players were like, Ranmei's a support, I already got my one character, whatever Ranmei supports, she's okay, I don't really need her. Yeah, she's great to a degree, but again, who cares? And then with Yorick Mazino, they saw, which is again Data Mazino, they saw, I don't know if I want that character, as right away we had like the consensus that, he kind of sucks. So that month really did pretty much less than usual for the game, but how did the game do, you might be asking. Today, let's find out if the 7DS collab did anything. Let's jump into it. If you're new to the channel, like and subscribe, episode it's on. Let's hop over there. In fact, have this over here. This was the entire revenue report for all the games last month. So this month is basically all February. Everything that released in February, this is what's going to be shown to you in this entire thing. So a lot of games that are on this list, right? A lot of them are in end of service territory. What we decide, or what we like as a sort of gotcha game players have decided end of service revenue is, where they're ready to shut down, it's around 500,000 below. Around that point is when it's like that game is not profitable anymore. So yes, some games do survive, correct? Some games do survive for a while in that territory. It all depends on the IP, the operating costs, and all that stuff associated to be where, like, are they still profitable, and is it worth it to keep the service online? Those things depend, right? Where our game is at, it's far from currently the end of service scare, right? And again, as always, there's always outliers. Games that still do pretty well get end of service still, but people, again, Tower God will be here for a good year, 2, 3 more, potentially beyond that. The game does pretty good. Plus, Netmarble usually isn't the company to shut something down just like that. But we'll see exactly how it goes. So I'm just putting it as a point. If anybody thinks this game will kick the bucket, it won't. All right. For example, a game that recently released, One Punch Man World, is already doing this much on launch month. That is terrible. That is disgusting. That is literally the lowest you could do. Like, think about it now. One Punch Man IP, 1.3 million? Yikes, dude. Yikes, bro. This game's been out for years. Still better. It's funny. Or months, I think. This is months, I think, but who cares? So, moving forward, we're going to look for Tower of God, Tower Fantasy, not the one we're looking for. So, again, higher than that. Where we currently rank is Tower of God New World, right around 7 Deadly Sins Grand Cross. So, how did Tower of God New World rank? We ranked around 2 million for the month of the collaboration. We did a lot better than the 1.8. You have to know something. The game was around, like, the game always sort of stays around 2 million. That's like kind of where the revenue is. But again, I don't think the devs know what they're doing when it comes to cooking them characters. Whatever the fudge, what was their goal with Data Yorick Mazino? I don't get it. He was a very wonky character, and it's like players understand that, like, they're taking such good IP characters. Like, again, there's a lot of powerful and a lot of cool and a lot of fan favorite characters that are in Tower of God, correct? And what Netmarble does is they kind of release them to be duds. And it sucks. It really does suck for a lot of players. For example, as I said in my last video, I will riot in the streets if we find out that Kaiser, Elaine, right, is a mid character. Because it's like, dude, that is a character that I've been waiting for. She's a very hyped character. Players love her. And making her mid is the worst thing you could possibly do. Now, moving forward, yes, we're obviously going to have mid characters here and there. But I hope that they weigh the pros and cons of making a character mid or not. Like, first, pro. Is this character popular with everybody? That's obviously going to be a pro, right? It's going to be the thing that they're very popular. And if that is a thing, don't make them mid. Make that a rule. Because again, a lot of players were very excited to see again Data Yorick, and in the end we got mid. And because of that, the month was a very garbage month. 1.8 was pretty mid for this game. Again, we always average around 2. 7DS collab was around 2 million. Which again isn't that bad. That month was literally just 7DS. There was nothing else in that month to look forward to, basically, correct? I think that month literally just had 7DS and one character. And the character before 7DS was pretty mediocre, unless I'm wrong. I'm about to open the February calendars to check, but it was... Who was it? So, yeah, no, I'm right. The collab event was it, basically, correct? Because the last thing was in March. So mainly it was just the collab event and Shalil, correct? But Shalil launched on the 29th. So... basically speaking, the collab is the only thing sort of making the revenue. I'm gonna go check, just see what the January event calendar is to at least alert you, because it was the month prior. So in January, the 31st, we got SSR Plus Ren and Rack. So that technically, yes, the 31st where most of the revenue was when players are wailing out on the character release, that's not there. But for the rest of the month, Ren and Rack still did pretty decent, along with a collaboration. 2 million is a pretty solid number. I'm guessing, and my speculation is this game is definitely going to drop to around 1 million to 1.5 million, which again, not the best for what the game is. Definitely think that this game could have been much better. The game started off very hot. Like, we were around 10 million, which is pretty good, but it definitely dropped a lot since launch. I thought the collab would do a lot more, like around 2.5 to 3 million, because again, it was 7DS, but I do wonder what happened here. Something that I didn't expect to drop that low, but definitely using logic here, moving forward, I think that the game will average around 1 million to 1.5 million, which is not the best revenue, but it is pretty good, correct? Like, again, Grand Cross, you've seen the effort, like, in this game die miserably. We still, around that game, make about 3.3 million or 3.5 million plus, so that game still does pretty good for itself, so, you know, it's not like a terrible number. Like, Tower Fantasy still is keeping its service up for 3 years, around 1 million or 1.5 million a month. It's really around there, so it's not an issue, definitely not, but I don't know what it is with this game, where, again, there's a lot of good pricing bundles and stuff like that, but it's maybe people are holding out for the more hyped characters. I personally think that Ren was a bad release at this time. It's like, we definitely expected much different characters than Ren. You know what I mean? Ren is not hyped, okay? Yeah, Ren is a good character, that is true, but Ren is not hyped. I don't know what they're doing with, like, the hyped releases. Remember, we're almost there to the first anniversary. So keep that in mind, that I'm hoping they actually cook for that one, because, again, you know, they should be timing these releases perfectly. Like, our 6-month anniversary was Day to York Mazino. We're like, oh yes, anniversary time, baby, let's go. Here's a mid character. What? Nah, yo, whatever it is, again, the game is pretty good for what it is. But they do make some very bad decisions, and I know you believe that one too. Remember that, right? But again, moving forward, we have a lot to look forward to when it comes to events and everything. So I hope that if they plan it out properly, right? I don't know when our anniversary will actually kick up, but Jin Sung will probably come out really soon. If that were to happen, hopefully they just, again, make him a good character, right? When they see the players hype for a character, make them a good character. Players will, again, wail and do everything per se. But I do think that Ren, again, whatever he is, he should have been earlier in the game. Definitely, right? We've had 6 months, or at the point of releasing Ren, 7 to 8 months of having the game. Ren should have been earlier. Like, we're getting Data Yorick Mazino, we're getting Shalil. They're, like, sort of going everywhere in the game storyline and releasing characters. Definitely in a way they could have done it better, but for what it is, again, now we're getting, you know, Teen Yuri, all this is happening. It's a little weird, but for the most part, the game does pretty good. Definitely not an end of service scare, so don't run with that. I think the game definitely has some good time on it, and for what it is, it's much more of a, not saying low quality game, but remember, they mainly just give, you know, story chapters, being just pushing that, story itself, and then again, making still between 1 and 2 million is a pretty solid number for what they do. So with that, definitely think the game is fine. Nothing to worry about there. Let me know what you think about the revenue, though. Just me personally, I thought that the 2 million would be much higher. For 7DS, I was like, that's gonna be much higher. Like, personally, everyone in my guild wailed. Like, players that don't usually wail, they wailed. So, very shocking that that's all it did. There is no PC client, so this is like raw revenue. But yeah, I'm just that's the only thing that shocks me, because, like, dude, I know players that wailed, bro, wailed, and that they never wailed. They never wailed before, but they wailed. And again, 7DS is very, very popular. So, to me, a little shocking, but hey, maybe it was, you know, I don't know. There's no reasoning. I don't know what happened here, but let me know what you think. Take care, have fun, peace out. Game's still doing pretty good, so don't worry about it. And I hope they just handle the aspect of characters, right? Because again, just make sure characters are launched at a good time and make their kits that they're hyped good, so players don't get miserable when they learn their favorite character is dog crap. You know what I mean? All right, take care.